Hello everyone, we are once again in the garage gym and we are once again training. We have got some deadlifts to do. I've taken a little bit of a break from the pro strongman stuff, as you probably noticed. It has sort of tired me out this season, so I'm giving myself a YouTube off season, if that makes sense, for the pro strongman stuff. So last thing I watched of all that was the Magnus Classic. I watched bits and pieces of OSG, not too much, obviously know all the results, everything that happened, and I saw the Arnold's lineups, which are really cool. I know a few people have asked me to make videos on the Arnold's lineups, but I'm going to wait until they announce the events as well, and do a oneer and do a Arnold lineup and event video, like an everything you need to know sort of video. One thing I will say, super excited to see Luke Richardson at the Arnold's. That is very welcome news. But yeah, I thought I'd just do a pretty bog standard training video for you guys today, because it's a deadlift day and they seem to perform twice as well as any other session that I record. So I may as well record my deadlift days. And we had a big deadlift win recently that I didn't record the session of, but last week we matched not only our deadlift PB of 300 kilos, but also our log PB of 130 kilos in back-to-back sessions. So I am comfortably the strongest I've ever been. I'd say I'm probably adjacent to the fittest I've ever been. So earlier this year when I was doing the running every day and I was documenting that journey, that was probably the fittest that I've ever been. But I still feel pretty much just as fit, if not slightly less fit, but pretty much just as fit. So I am feeling pretty good about my training right now. So I think it's time we start sharing a bit more of it. And I think Strongman, again, is sorely missing training videos at the minute. Martins is back doing training videos, and there's a few others here and there. But on a whole, it seems to be that the strongman world at the minute is just engagement, clickbait, controversy, those sorts of videos. And that's not me. That's not what I enjoy. I enjoy watching people training. I enjoy doing my training. And I just enjoy watching the sport. So I'm going to not complain about the lack of training videos, but I'm going to add to them. I know they're not as interesting as the pro guys' training videos, but they're still pretty cool. So today's session, we have got a fairly light deadlift session for me. Obviously, last week, hitting 300 kilo matched PB. We're not going to come in this week and do any heavier. We're going to strip it back, build back up over the next 4 weeks or so, and try and get more. So today, it's a set of 4, 235 kilos. Should be a pretty comfortable set of 4, a pretty solid one. So very much looking forward to doing that. And then we are doing a new exercise for me, which is the banded speed deadlift. So I have done speed deadlifts before, obviously, but never with a band. I've heard these are very, very good. But my only issue is the only bands that I have are these Cerberus ones. Obviously, I've got crap ones on the wall, but these are the only ones that are really suitable for this sort of deadlift. And if you see, if I wrap them around the bar, then I'd have to lock out there to get any band tension. So I'm either going to have to spread them really, really wide, which would be fine if I had multiple heavy dumbbells, but I've got one set of 50s and that's it. So I might end up having to double up the band. I was thinking about maybe lifting up the platform, putting the band under the platform and then strapping it on. But even then, if this is like flat on the platform, it's not even that much tension to lock out. So yeah, I'm going to figure that out. Anyway, that'll be a bit of an experiment for today's video. But yeah, mainly we've got deadlifts, banded speed deadlifts, and then we've got 2 nice heavy row variations. We've got the T-bar rows, which I love doing, like big, heavy, cheaty sets, you know, like Ronnie Coleman, like Arnold, those big, big, cheaty, heavy sets. Really fire up the back, just completely toast myself. And then we do a really strict chest-supported dumbbell row with the big boy 50s, with those, given the week, I am either between like sort of 6 or 8 reps. So the aim basically is to get that to be where I can do sets of 10 with that. But yeah, at the minute I'm stuck with about 6 or 7. So yeah, that is the goal for today anyway. Without further ado, I think I'm going to start warming up. Warm-ups are feeling like I'd done 300 kilo last week, if that makes sense. They're light, they're moving easy, but my body's going like, not this shit again. So yeah, it's feeling good though. Like, not as good as it could, but feeling decent. Warm-ups are done, feeling really, really good. I'm in the zone now, I've warmed up a bit. Heater was on, so feeling really solid. Gonna load up the top set, give it my all, make it look easy, but peep the new dumbbell storage system, by the way. I bought that literally yesterday, day before. Such a massive difference. Biggest advice to any gym owner or home gym owner is just get stuff off the floor. You don't want to be stepping over things while you're doing everything. So wall storage, storage racks, that sort of thing. Just get everything off the damn floor. But anyway, top set time. Let's get it done. So that is the top set done, and it moved as expected. Really nice and really smooth. Like, couldn't really have asked for much better than that, to be honest. Like, yeah, just super nice, super comfy, super smooth, and not too like out of control fast, if that makes sense. They were speedy, they were smooth, and smooth as fast. Sometimes people get so caught up in yanking the bar as like hard and as explosive and as fast as they can, and it throws them off completely, and you end up doing, you know, more damage to the form than you were trying to gain from being super explosive and super fast. So I like to do smooth, comfy reps that are fast and explosive, but in the very controlled plane that I like to lift in. And as the saying goes, smooth is fast. So by doing that, it means that it doesn't look as impressively fast, but when the weights get heavier, it moves very consistently at that sort of speed. So speaking of moving things fast, we have now got the speed deadlifts, or should I say the banded speed deadlifts. And I had a little bit of a brainwave, which probably came obvious to most of you guys, is that I can just stand on the band and only use one of them. And that's probably how most people do banded deadlifts. So got a lovely band here, and I can literally just stick it on the bar like that, stand on it, bam, I've got a banded deadlift. So that's what we're going to do. Well, at least that's what we're going to try. But as I said, I've not really done these before, so I'm not sure if this band is going to be way too heavy, way too easy, but I'm going to set up like so, you know, get into my normal position, and then bam, explode up. I've got 6 sets of 3 reps for this, so I really need to bang them out. I am not going to sit and waffle between sets or anything like that. I'm going to record every single set for you guys, stick it to some music, stick it to a quick montage, and you're going to see all the sets, and then we'll catch up afterwards. Well, banded speed deadlifts were actually really, really good fun. I very much enjoyed those. They feel like a great accessory to add to my wheelhouse. Honestly, I'm surprised it's been this long that I haven't done them. I've just always done other like deadlift based accessories like deficit deadlifts, pause deadlifts, normal speed deadlifts. I've never really introduced a band, and that is because historically my weakness on deadlift has always been off the floor. And it's only recently that my deadlifts have sort of started to slow a little bit a lockout. So that is why we're introducing the band and being really explosive. So we maintain that power off the floor that we've been so careful as to work and make better, but also introduce a little bit of stickiness to that lockout to make sure that we're still working that and making sure that gets better as well. And yeah, it's just a really good deadlift accessory. My glutes are absolutely on fire. Like normally after deadlifts, for me, I mainly feel hamstrings and lower back. But today it's been all glutes thanks to those banded speed deadlifts, which is really good. And I don't feel like as CNS tired as I normally do after a deadlift session, because normally I do like heavy pause deadlifts, heavy deficit deadlifts, or like RDLs really heavy or something like that. And they're usually really, really nasty and taxing in a good way, obviously, but they beat you up really bad. Whereas these, because I say only 170, but that's like quite light for me. I can deadlift that all day long. The fact that it's only that weight, just with some band tension as well, is it's not putting my body under the same sort of stress as like heavy RDLs would, but it is certainly putting in the work muscularly. So what we're going to do now, as I mentioned, is load up the T-bar row. I've got, which I'm sure all of you have seen because the video's on like a stupid amount of views. It's my most viewed video. We have got the MirrorFit multi-grip T-bar row handle. This thing, I have to attribute half of my YouTube success to because the video's on an absurd amount of views. But also, I use it every bloody week. And it is still pretty much as new as the day I got it. It's fantastic, like, and I don't say that lightly at all. It's really, really good. Which I'm surprised by because I bought it for like 20 quid about 5 years ago and made a crap video on it that's got tons of views. Like, it's always the ones you don't expect that do well. But yeah, so we're going to smash out some heavy T-bar rows. We're going to smash out a really, really solid set of solid sets of the prone dumbbell rows with the big fat 50 kilo dumbbells. And then that'll be that. I'm going to stick a little bit of cardio on the end of the session as well. So I'm trying to, get that being more consistent because as we go into December, it's very easy to let the food in and let the cardio slip. So I'm trying to get ahead of myself basically because I know come December, I'm going to be a big fat porky pig and eat as much as I possibly can. And I do it every year. And every year I get to January and I'm surprised that I'm like 135 kilo. I'm really depressed. So this year, I'm not going to let it happen. I am going to stick on the cardio. I'm going to not eat as much shit. And we're going to maintain good form so that when I'm leading into my competitions in the spring of next year, I'm not doing that on a weight cut at the same time, which I've done the last 2 years. This time I want to go in at a good, comfortable maintenance weight with the maintenance calories and stick around this body weight. And I'm going to try my absolute hardest to do that. So I will be doing cardio at the end of this session. And if it's not in this video, then you guys get to comment abuse at me, call me all sorts of names, because there is going to be cardio at the end of this session. both of those accessories felt really, really good, actually. Big PB on the chest supported dumbbell rows as well, with the 50s for 3 sets of 8. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I've only ever really been able to do that for 1 set of 8 before, and usually it's around, like 6 or 7 reps, usually 6s. So to get 3 sets of 8, really, really good. And you'll notice I did both of those exercises without straps, and that is because for these sorts of weights, my grip's never going to give out. It's never going to be the limiting factor, and it's some nice grip training to do these exercises strapless, so would highly recommend doing that as well. But my back is pretty toasted, to be honest. That has been some pretty damn hard work. So yeah, really, really good session, and I'm going to leave it there. I'm kidding. We have got cardio to do, so I'm going to get the air bike out, and I'm undecided yet whether I'm going to do some long form steady state or some air bike sprints. But yeah, we'll see how much time I have. If it's not a lot of time, then I'm going to have to do sprints, which I really just don't enjoy doing. If I've got more time, I can just put an audiobook on or some cool music and just chill and do 20, 30 minutes of a sort of a lighter cycle, sort of zone 2. And yeah, get our cardio done. Well, as you can see, I drew the short straw of bike sprints. I did a few rounds of 30 seconds, obviously one shown there. It's been about 5-10 minutes since that, and I'm still, chilling down from it, but they're really, really good. If you're going to do any cardio for strongman, bike sprints are the way to do it, because it gets your heart rate so high, and then you have such a short amount of time to bring it back down before you go again, that it mimics like a loading medley or something where you're doing a few seconds really hard work. You've got to bring your heart rate down and then go again, So fantastic. But that is where I'm going to leave today's session. If you enjoyed, go down below, leave a like on the video, and of course subscribe for more. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite deadlift variation is. I'm loving the banded speed deadlifts right now. But anyway, thank you for watching. I've been Toby. I'll see you in the next one.